What's up guys, welcome back to Wordwise. So this trip took me on some of the most beautiful beaches in Thailand, from Mae Bay to Railay on the Andaman seaside to the tropical beaches of Koh Samui in the Gulf of Thailand. This week we hit up some of the northern beaches of Koh Phangan, Mae Haad and Haad Salad, learning to enjoy the journey just as much as the destination. Getting to these beaches is a bit of a journey. Most travelers will tell you just to rent a cheap scooter when in Thailand. However, as I said in my last Koh Phangan video, linked below, I opted not to drive rental scooters around the twisty roads that were often blanketed with a layer of slippery sand. If you know me at all, I like to imbibe on a frosty cold Sinca while lazing about on a Thai island. I'm also not a scooter driver at home, so I don't think it's the safest to just take up such a dangerous endeavor in a foreign country. Plus, Koh Phangan has some, well, let's just call them enthusiastic drivers.
There are no roads!
I wanted to scope out how much it would be for a day of beach hopping using local taxis and other transportation. With the typical daily price of a scooter rental being around 250 baht, let's see how this taxi adventure compares. From Palita Lodge in Had Rin, we had our hotel drop us off for about 350 baht. We enjoyed a relaxing ride through the jungle and sketched out a plan for how we would get back later. Stay tuned for how that turned out because it was definitely a bit of an adventure. First on our northern beach hopping list was Mae Haad. The beach sits nestled among rolling hills of dense jungle as far as the eyes can see. It is one of the most visually striking in Koh Phangan because of its rocky coastline and sandbars rising out of the sea. One of its main draws is its proximity to Koh Ma, a small island just off the coast that is connected by a sandbar. When the tide is right, you can walk across to Koh Ma, so make sure you plan your visit accordingly to be able to reach the small island. Access to the beach is a bit confusing. From the street, you could enter through the Wang Sai resort. You walk up through the lobby and across the most adorable bridge. The property features a super cute beach bar area with a small playground for children, making it a great spot for a quick lunch or a drink while listening to the waves crash along the sand. If you keep heading north up the beach, it's much more secluded. You can walk along the pathway from Wang Sai Resort for a bit, catching different angles of Koh Ma and enjoying a slower vibe from the locals meandering around the area. There were a few closed restaurants and a lazy lagoon full of anchored boat taxis missing their drivers, many of whom sat idly in the shade of the palms. This is actually where I had read that we could easily find a boat taxi to Haad Salad, which turned out to be a much different story. Now, I had read online that there were plenty of water taxis willing to make the trip, and so thought it would be easy to wrangle one down. However, we soon realized that none were really working. We spotted a few dudes fiddling around on their boats and followed them to a closed restaurant. Here, we asked patiently about a taxi ride to Haad Salad, just a few miles down the coast. At first, we were turned away, but with some persistence, we worked our way up the managerial chain to the one who felt like king of the Mae Haad taxi drivers. Thank God my friend spoke Thai. After some haggling, we were able to secure a long-tail taxi boat for 250 baht for the two of us. Word to the wise, don't be so quick to take no for an answer. Be patient but persistent, and remember, cash is king. Eventually, two younger dudes begrudgingly took us out. Yet only minutes later, we got stuck on the sandbar separating Mae Haad from Koh Ma. I mean really stuck. I don't know what they were thinking driving straight into the sandbar. Yeah, we're gonna get right on it. You missed it a little bit.
It's like, people are taking photos of us being stuck on the sandbar.
Oh my god. Eventually, they got it sorted and we headed back on our way. Their annoyance did not go unnoticed as Tian and I tried desperately to control our giggling. Coming close to Haad Salad, I gotta admit, I was a little nervous we would get stuck again given the shallow, rocky coastline and our driver's poor performance record on our voyage. After a few close calls, we made it. Although the name sounds so innocuous in English, the Thai Haad Salad actually translates to Pirate Beach. It is a beautiful cove featuring crystal clear water filled with blooming corals, making it great for snorkeling. Adorable island bars and boutique beach resorts line the white sandy coastline. We lunched at Spicy Salad, which is nestled in the trees at the far northern part of the cove. It had a fresh menu and an inviting ambiance, looking over the ocean that made for some great Instagram boomerangs. Once the sun was starting to set, we figured we had to sort our exit strategy. After our boat blunder earlier in the afternoon, I had lowered expectations for how we would get back to Haad Rin. Luckily, we stopped into Reggae House for a drink to figure things out when we saw a sign for taxis back to Thong Sala. For 300 baht, it was a very pleasant ride through the jungle as the sun set through the palms. After a walk through the night market, we eventually made it safely back to Haad Rin for another 250 baht. That brought our grand total to $33.95, but split that into two for about $16.97 a person. Yeah, that's double the cost of a daily scooter, but it's nowhere near what I'm used to paying for Ubers in Europe or the United States. I mean, in LA, you can get a mile ride for that price. Plus, the reality of cheap scooters are not always cheap, as accidents can be costly and medical bills and repairs if you don't have the right insurance. So all in all, 17 bucks is worth it to me. Next time on Wordwise, we cover tips on the best things to do in Bangkok. Thanks for watching. Bye!